Hello, nerds watching all over the internet. It is Thursday night. It is June 1st, and we're here for another exciting live edition of Wrestle Rewind. Woo-hoo! Hells yeah, another special week to sit down and talk with you about all the great matches, all the great moments that has happened in the world of professional wrestling. I'm your host, Jose Casabona. I'm also the host, founder, content manager, and executive producer of The Ravens Flock. And on behalf of all of us here on this channel, we appreciate each and every single one of you for tuning in right now. And joining behind the microphone, behind the camera is the host of the Black Files, my tag partner for Wrestle Wrewind, the man who puts in the man hours behind all the videos that we produce on this channel every single week, Mr. Juan Arauz.
Thank you for that introduction, Jose. Don't you ever forget the Mister.
And much like all our other shows on this channel, we are simulcasting on youtube.com/TheRavensFlock and twitch.tv/TheRavensFlock online. Hit the subscribe or the follow button on the bottom right corner of your screen. Click the bell icon to enable notifications on all of our media content. Leave your questions and comments below, and we will answer as many as we can while we're live. And if you wish to go above and beyond to support the Ravens Flock, then you can become an Inner Flocker. For $4.99 a month, you will have access to all the perks that comes with being a member. Juan, tell them.
Well, for all the inner flockers we have in our chat and our streams, and I know we have plenty. Thank you all so much, by the way, for your continuing support. Go out ahead and show off those lovely custom membership badges and custom emojis, which will be the first to become a golden flocker. We'll get back to that in about 3 years' time, because if you've been an inner flocker at least for the first year that we've been monetized, then we appreciate you guys continuing your support with us. You also get access to members first and members only content, a special discount to our merch store, link in the description right over here, tiny.cc/shoptrf, and you also get access to us, the Ravens Flock, your favorite motley crew of nerds, here to make your voice our mission by providing us your thoughts, your ideas, your feedback, your input on what you believe will help shape the future of this channel for the better. And let's not forget over here, folks, pray tell, exactly what is it that we do here, Jose, on Wrestle Rewind?
Well, here on Wrestle Rewind, what we do is we review 3 of the most exciting professional wrestling programs in North America today. That is WWE's NXT, All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite, and Impact Wrestling. Now, we just got through an incredibly loaded weekend of pro wrestling. 4 pay-per-views in one weekend. That is insane.
It was bananas to try to keep up with it all, and I'll tell you right now, I don't envy us over it, but truthfully, if you're big fans of professional wrestling, then feel free to join in on the lunacy. Also, folks, I want to say hello to the fine supporters of the Ravens Flock, everyone who's on our YouTube chat right now. Let me see here. What is wrong with the tabs? There we go. We've got Nikki Bella holding it down for our mod squad. Thank you, Nikki Bella. We've got Bunda. Right. He's asking, what is inside the box next to Jose? It's sewing patterns, Bunda.
It's called None of Your Business.
No, this is not. This is it's plenty innocuous over here. Also, D-Nice just popped into the chat. Hey, up there, D-Nice.
Hello, D-Nice. Thank you very much for joining us right now.
Welcome very much to Wrestle Rewind. We appreciate you here. And what we're actually doing, since we were
I've got
such
this.
A loaded mess. Yeah, no, yes, please do it.
It's difficult for us to keep up with a lot of wrestling happening in one weekend, but damn it, if difficulty be damned, I don't give a crap. I watched all of it. It was so much fun. I have a lot to talk with you about in this special edition of Main Event Thursday.
He's trying to make it a thing, people. Please clap for him.
That's right. 4 pay-per-views. 4 main event matches. Me and Juan are here to talk about it with all of you. But before we get started, just a couple things I want to do. First, a shout out to all of you who tuned in to our WWE Night of Champions watch party last Saturday. We really appreciate all of you tuning in last weekend. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. I'm sorry. I do apologize that I had to step away for half the time. I've been multitasking between hosting the party, making sure the food gets here, making sure the Angel gets here with all 4 of his limbs. So
intact in one piece.
So I do apologize for that, but I was able to. But I did manage to enjoy myself and have fun, and it helped having Juan, another bona fide wrestling fan and brother of mine, to have fun along with me. And I know. I mean, come on. Juan enjoyed himself. You all saw it.
I did enjoy myself. And yeah, if anyone likes to join in with us on these watch parties, whenever there's a big wrestling event, feel free to join in next time and feel free to say hi. Don't be shy. Angel didn't make it. You're right, Bunda. He didn't make it to the watch party, but he made it for the rest of the program.
It's okay. We decided to forego his hanging.
Exactly.
For now. But also, before I get started, on a personal note, I do want to give a shout out to Louis Lecca of Nerd Report,
my favorite.
And for are we okay to divulge?
Yeah, of course. Our friend Julie Bella. Julie Bella.
Our friend Julie Bella. Yes, she's also a friend and a proud member of Popcorn Planet. Earlier today, they just had a program where she told a very compelling story. I'm not going to get into the details of it because
she was discussing her own experiences with her former spouse. Experiences that we do not wish on anyone, but we wholeheartly wish we could get our hands on the guy.
Absolutely.
We'll leave it at that.
And if you guys want to check it out, then go hop over to Popcorn Planet, over to Nerd Report, and it'll be the latest episode on the channel.
Exactly.
All right. So, How we're gonna do this? We're gonna start in a very particular order because we always want to save the best.
What are we starting, Jose?
Well, first let's start off with
what are the 4 pay-per-views that we?
The 4 pay-per-views that we're gonna talk about. First, we're gonna start off by talking about the main event of Impact Wrestling's Under Siege.
Dun 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 dun.
Then afterwards, we're gonna talk about the main event of WWE's NXT Battleground.
Nice, very good.
Then after that, we're gonna talk about this year's AEW's Double or Nothing.
Yep, it was a match. That's all I'm gonna say right now.
And finally, we're gonna finish it off by discussing the main event of this year.
What the hell? That's not the right. How did it go to Backlash?
Jesus, Juan, are you that tired?
Cover Backlash.
Are you that tired?
No, that wasn't supposed to happen. I linked it to the right one. What the hell? Where'd it go? See, this
scroll
is what
down. Scroll. There you go.
What in the world? What happened?
We're going to talk about, then to finish it all off, we're going to discuss the main event for this year's WWE's Night of Champions.
Jesus, this scared the hell out of me. I was like, wait, no, I clicked on the right graphic. What happened to this thing?
Damn it, Juan.
What are you damn it Juan me for? It's the computer's fault.
All right. Oh, yeah. That's so typical. You shift the blame to technology.
Actually, yes.
When mankind made technology.
I'm not having a nice day, okay? So don't you try me on that.
All right, fine. Let's first discuss the main event to Impact Wrestling Under Siege. But before we get started, yes, thank you. Position the camera. Juan, ring that bell.
Don't mind if I do.
All right. Let's discuss the main event, Impact Wrestling Under Siege, and this match is for the Impact World Championship as the Soldier Boy and defending champion Steve Macklin defends his title against the French-Canadian Frankenstein monster, whatever the heck you want to call him.
He's not human.
He's not human. Steve Macklin versus PCO in
Creation 1.
In a no disqualification match.
Oh my lord, this one was such a mess, folks. I wish I were exaggerating by telling everyone how much of a mess this blasted match was. Now, we're not saying this is a bad mess. We're saying this as a bloody massacre mess. Okay?
It is an absolute bloody massacre. Well, I still think it was kind of bad. Well, I'll get to it. Let me put it this way. We're about to talk about AEW Double or Nothing later, which is going to be a car crash. But for all the craziness that match had, at least the amount of blood was surprisingly minimal to what I just saw on Impact.
And that match had Jon Moxley, so this is saying something.
All right,
we're not exaggerating. Everyone was gushing buckets. It's like Akira Kurosawa's special effects coordinator was in charge of this match. Just blood everywhere.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so messy. That being said, because this is
a little obscure there.
You're fine.
Moving forward.
I got it.
Thank you for being well versed in kino, in film and stuff.
Well, of course, isn't it the same Akira Kurosawa that gave us the Seven Samurai?
Yes.
Yay, which inspired the anime Samurai 7. Okay, I'm showing way too much of my credit here. Nerd! Anyways, so because this is a no disqualification match, anything goes, all weapons legal, there is no technical finesse. The match just started off with Steve Macklin immediately going for the offensive. He is clearly showing signs of a desperate champion trying to put away the French-Canadian monster early. But of course...
Can you blame him? They've been like putting this madness of this match, and we were trying to give PCO and all of this the benefit of the doubt. We were really trying. I'm not even kidding. We were hyping up PCO early on when he was part of Honor No More because it was badass and okay, they're gonna
because he was the big heavy.
Yes, he was the heavy. It's cool that they had like the undead, unstoppable monster thing. But when they started having him run it on its own without speaking a word, throwing extra makeup on his face, trying to roll his eyes backward,
and shooting these vignettes and having everything like behind smoke and mirrors. Yeah,
it's like, okay, we get it. His English isn't perfect. That's why when you have a nonverbal heavy, a nonverbal monster heel, or a nonverbal monster, you give them a mic guy, you give them a manager, you give them a wrangler.
Oh, he had a manager, but he went to Ring of Honor. So take that for what it's worth.
Oh, God dang it. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Also, Also, what's her face? D Nice is moist.
What the? All right, so
What?
getting back to it, PCO was able to mount an offensive back. He even did a suicide cannonball dive through the ropes. Holy crap! This guy's 50+ years old and he's doing suicide dives. What the hell?
It's not that hard if you know how to do it properly. If you're just gonna jump out and hope you don't hit the ropes as you scurry on out, that's not enough. That shit takes practice. That takes skill.
Fair enough.
That kind of skill only works with experience.
And of course, then they start getting color on each other with Steve Maclin bleeding buckets all over the place. Like, man, he is a mess. His entire face, his entire head was covered in red blood, and it's amazing that he lasted as long as he did. But they start bringing in all the weapons. They brought in steel chairs, frying pans, the garbage cans. They brought in, I kid you not, they brought in cinder blocks and concrete plates and a sledgehammer into the match. And they hit each other with all the weapons, with, of course, PCO absorbing a lot of the offense from the champion. But the one thing I want to call attention to, which was so damn gross, and I'm very disappointed that Impact allowed this to happen in Canada, was Steve Maclin had a Staples gun, and he used the Staples gun, I shit you not, follow along with me, to seal PCO's mouth shut.
I saw this in the match highlights and I still couldn't believe it. I was losing my head. Like, sweet Jesus, do these people know that they're televised? Do these people know that this kind of hardcore blood sport deathmatch craziness is being shown to human beings? D Nice is saying, LOL, it's a culinary term. Moist. I don't know who made it nasty, but they suck. Oh, and they're saying that this is nasty. The fact
this is nasty.
It was a bloody massacre.
And what made it even more nasty is that they showed a camera footage. They showed the camera shot. I'm not going to share it, but they showed the camera shot of PCO taking a thing of like pliers and plucking out the staples from his mouth.
Exactly. It was like, Bunda's actually got it on the, hit the nail on the head this time. Gross, dumbass, non-wrestling bullshit. Yeah, no, it's how does Jim Cornette call it? Lazy booking.
It's lazy booking, and this is
At least we have two sets of matches from our coverage tonight that don't fit that, and oh, wouldn't you know it, they happen to be WWE matches.
I know, right?
Isn't that kind of sad? Where you can have good wrestling matches, and they come from what every indie mark, what every online the internet wrestling community person calls like the devil of pro wrestling, like the worst ever. We're not saying that WWE is perfect. We're saying that when you compare it to what AEW did at Double or Nothing and what Impact did here in Under Siege, it stands to reason that it stands head and shoulders above the rest in terms of quality.
I guess they can get away with it because they're now a smaller promotion, and since they have a TV deal with Access TV, like, who the hell even goes on Access TV these days? So they have the advantage of being on a lesser programming.
But then you have to wonder, like, okay, how much of this was actually aired on Access TV? It wasn't. It was on pay-per-view, and it was on
Impact Plus.
Impact Plus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was on Impact Plus. Yeah.
So it didn't air on Access TV.
No, it didn't air on Access TV. It was on YouTube. It was on their YouTube channel, and it was on Impact Plus.
Meaning that as far as Impact Access TV is concerned, they're not gonna worry about what these guys put on, because they know that if they try to put this kind of madness and blood-gushy massacre of doom, somewhere out there, Jon Moxley's licking his lips and salivating. So much blood for me to drink.
Well, let's just
that. We'll get
to that in a little bit. Juan does have a point. Let's just say that Impact Wrestling, they won't need Hulk Hogan or Eric Bischoff or Dixie Carter to lose another TV deal.
Yeah, exactly. It was going to be nuts over here. What's his face?
And Bunda was saying New Japan is okay right now.
No, I'm not. It's on right now. I'm not watching it.
Oh, it's on right now. Okay, never mind. I thought you were actually giving respect, but okay.
I was about to say, and he also says, I watch Access TV all the time. Most of the time, they play concerts. See, Access TV has a bunch of plenty different content on here.
Oh, okay.
It's just that Impact knows well enough not to put this sort of like freaking Ian Rotten Wet Dream style garbage match on their television.
Yeah, no, and after a grueling fight, like
grueling?
a brawl, a brutal fight.
Yeah, a grueling,
Sorry,
brutal
this
fight.
is so messy. It's making me mess up my vocabulary. Steve Backlund took the concrete plates, and stacked them up on PCO. Used a sledgehammer and struck PCO through the concrete plates, but PCO was able to kick out after 2. Oh no, he's not human!
Oh, nerd. D-Nice is saying, this is my first time popping into your Wrestle Rewind. I haven't watched wrestling since the 90s. All I can think of right now is Bonesaw McGraw from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Oh my god, yes, that was so good.
Bonesaw is
I
ready.
love it. It's so good.
Hey, Freak Show, you're going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Sadly, there is no Macho Man to save this one. Rest in peace,
Randy Poffo.
Rest in peace. Yeah, thank you, Juan. But thankfully, the match did come to an end. Steve Backlund, after bleeding so much blood, it's amazing that he's still conscious.
Ah, God, get it away from me!
He was able to pin and retain. You're a winner and still the Impact World Champion, Steve Backlund. But winning was not enough for the champion, as he got on the mic and immediately called out the Impact president, Scott D'Amore, who's right behind him in this picture, to actually congratulate him and put the Impact World title around his waist.
So you actually say, like, you know what? It's not enough that I won. It's not enough that I beat your Canadian monster hero. I want you to put the championship belt on me, bitch. I want you to freaking actually put it on and show me the respect I deserve. What the hell? That is such a dick move.
That is a dick move.
Most of Access TV's program is all music with a little bit of, quote, wrestling splashed in there. Okay.
This is pretty much like textbook ECW wrestling that they just did in the main event. But to drive that nail to hammer in the point that this is the spiritual successor of ECW,
Or it's trying to be.
We get the surprise return of Bully Ray.
Yeah, Bully Ray actually showed up right at the end of this match, and wouldn't you know it, we're going to actually see some madness happen here.
Bully Ray teamed up with Steve Backlund. They laid waste to all the baby faces that tried to came in to rescue Scott D'Amore. They laid waste to Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, all the good guys that tried to fight back. And then at the end, Bully Ray and Steve Backlund power bombed Scott D'Amore through a flaming table.
Bully Ray got wood. Oh my God, these freaking people.
It is crazy.
Look at all the blood on the mat. That is so gross. I'm sorry. It's like it's not going to be any better looking from when we look at Double or Nothing soon. But at the same time, that is terrifying.
Dude, it didn't look good when they did it in AEW Dynamite with Cody versus Andrade.
Or anytime Moxley steps in the ring.
Well,
Ever. For anything. He cuts a promo, he's blading. Nikki Bella is saying Sting showed Hogan's video of him caught in a lie with Eric Bischoff during so-called retirement in the ring. Sting got a match with Hogan. Ha.
Yes, he did for TNA Bound for Glory 2011.
Yeah, no, I remember that. And Hogan and Bischoff were like, haha.
No, despite the limitations of Hulk Hogan at that time, they were able to pull out a match. Not a good match, not a great match, but they pulled out a match where Sting made Hulk Hogan tap out to the Scorpion Deathlock. You know, the finish that they should have had in WCW Starrcade 97.
Right, except no, he couldn't do that, brother, because that finish didn't work for me. Also, but it was saying Bubba Ray's a mid-carder. I don't think so. He could be a main event guy if he got himself set up with a promotion that gave a shit. But Bound for Glory, I bought that pay-per-view and Hulk Hogan stole the show as usual, brother.
Oh my God.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Bunda, you say that about Bubba Ray, but remember, Bubba Ray got Hulk Hogan's blessing and he married his daughter, Brooke.
And then he ditched her because he was aces and eights.
Yeah, you gonna defend that, Bunda? I want to see you try.
Remember, that shit was Hulk Hogan's idea, brother.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for Bunda to give me to defend that shit. Anyway, so yeah, that main event, Impact Under Siege, that was a goddamn mess. Everything else in the pay-per-view was actually pretty good, but I'm gonna get to the final thoughts on the pay-per-view altogether. But let's move on. Let's move on with a palate cleanser, because I'm pretty sure, Juan, even you have your limit of too much blood, right?
I do have a limit, and like what we had to watch here from Impact Wrestling and AEW. That was.
I just ate dinner!
I know. I made it. I whipped it up. Bund was saying Sting showed up without a tan and skinny. Why would Hogan put him over? Hulkster was on his way out and he didn't care anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Any excuse.
I know, right? All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this year's pay-per-view event, NXT Battleground.
Now, this was one of the big time pay-per-views that NXT has been testing the waters with for a while, and thankfully, the entire show delivered. Like, I know it's not like everybody's favorite because like, oh, NXT is such a dumb brand. Like, they don't know what they're missing out on.
They don't know what they're missing out on, and NXT
content,
is actually
great wrestling in all these programs, even on Impact. When they do well on Impact, they do really well. It's just that there's also times when they don't.
Yeah, no. Since September of 2022, NXT has actually been made a huge turnaround and actually been putting on great wrestling content. Okay, and this happened around the same time Triple H took over creative.
I know. Go figure.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. And Battleground has a very has a very large history with the WWE. When I think of WWE Battleground, my favorite matches are number 1, Battleground 2013, The Shield taking on the Rhodes brothers to get their jobs back, with the American Dream Dusty Rhodes getting physical.
That one was messed up. I remember that match.
And my second favorite match from Battleground is 2016, when all 3 members of The Shield, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose at the time, they all fought together for the first time for the WWE Championship, with Dean Ambrose coming out on top.
Well, that was the past. We have to look forward here, Jose.
Absolutely. Let's look forward to the future.
Well, by looking at the more immediate past. What was that my point again?
No, I know, right? So this year's NXT Battleground took place over in Lowell, Massachusetts, and the main event was a rematch from NXT Stand and Deliver. That's right, round 2. Carmelo Hayes defends the NXT Championship against Braun Breaker.
Now, you could tell this time around Braun Breaker was most assuredly the bad guy in this one because, he was being mean to people. He had adjusted his entrance. He adjusted his ring attire.
He's all black now. He's not carrying any multicolored stuff like the Steiner brothers of the 90s.
Yeah, not anymore.
Oh.
No, now he's a bad guy.
Yeah,
now he's mean, and you can tell he's mean because his entrance isn't. He's not chainsawing NXT stuff anymore. Now he's just coming out to like dark lights and stuff.
Yeah,
because he's mean.
For the past near 2 months, Braun Breaker has been on a mean streak. He has been interfering in matches, just spearing people left and right. He's been making Carmelo Hayes' life a living hell. He's been trashing Chase U. He wrote Andre Chase out of TV from NXT Spring Breakin'. Andre Chase hasn't returned.
Why'd you have to say it that way, Breakin'? Oh, hey there, Vicente Guerrero made it into the chat. Welcome to Wrestle Wrewind.
All right, Vicente Guerrero, thank goodness you skipped past the part where I talked about Under Siege because that was a bloody mess. And we're talking about NXT Battleground. Now let's get to the main event. First of all, before we talk about the match, something silly I want to bring up.
This isn't so much silly as it is terribly concerning. For any of you who know or don't know, Braun Breaker is actually dating in real life Cora Jade. They're a couple in real life, and I think Cora Jade might not ever want to look at Braun Breaker's browser history.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you what happens when you introduce a professional wrestler to DeviantArt.
Yeah, it's official. We're like 95% certain Braun Breaker's a furry.
Look at the mask. It's so weird.
It's so weird. He's got like a wolf dog, freaking big dog,
come on, man. The Shield did. Well, actually, the Shield did, but
the Shield had actual cloth masks around. It wasn't a freaking molded, 3D printed plastic mask of doom.
Yeah, even Roman Reigns wouldn't do that as he was being pushed as the big dog.
It wasn't from a lack of Vince McMahon trying. I'll say that.
Oh God, you're right.
Vicente was saying Braun Breaker's a quote bad guy now, aka naturally Scott Steiner's nephew.
I know, right? But yeah, no. I mean, okay. I actually spoke about it with a couple friends. I still think that it looks silly on Braun Breaker, but that's just me. But now let's get to the rest of the wrestling match. It was really
Are you
damn.
sure? I seriously do think Cora needs to watch out.
No, watch it. Take a step backwards. Go to the previous photo so that we can get to it. So we can talk about the rest of the match. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the match. Juan actually sat down with me to watch the main event for Battleground, and yeah, it was some fun stuff, wasn't it?
We were having a good time. We were watching it live, and the craziness of the match was actually good because it was grounded. Trick Williams was in Carmelo Hayes' corner and making sure that that Hayes didn't didn't get too cornered and didn't get too overwhelmed, even though the referee continuously dogged on Trick Williams.
I know, it's so wild. Now the story of this match is that Carmelo Hayes is working over the leg of Braun Breaker, trying to neutralize his ability to use all of his power moves, his Frankensteiner, his power slam, his running spear, because Braun Breaker, he used to play football, so that kind of neat. That kind of requires working legs.
Yeah.
But
so basically, Trick Williams. No, sorry.
Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes. Why did I say Trick Williams? Carmelo Hayes. He started with like a baseball slide looking drop kick directly into Braun Breaker's left knee.
Oh, yeah. He was working over the knee the entire main event. But what's really interesting is that despite Carmelo Hayes using his ground game to weaken Braun Breaker's knee, Braun Breaker just, anytime he makes a comeback, he just shrugs it off as if it was nothing. Like, bro, okay, there's Super Cena, there's Super Roman Reigns, and then there's Black Magic. Pick one.
I was looking the whole time, and Jose can attest to this. I was actually saying, like, dude, Braun, I can tell you're still green because you're not selling your leg. We understand you're trying to look strong, but you have to remember to sell the leg. He's been working on your leg for a good solid few minutes over here. You have to, like, shake it off or, like, try to, like, rub at your knee or something. Like, okay, like, move on and, like, try to push past the pain.
Oh, no, Juancho, but we got to make Braun Breaker look really strong.
Vicente saying, sort of looks like a mask of Rosemary's face paint. The wolf mask.
The wolf mask. Yeah, that looks like something Rosemary would wear. A little more twisted, but yes.
Please no. I mean, like, don't make her wear that.
All right.
Now, there was one other interesting spot during the actual strategizing of Carmelo Hayes in the match. There was a point there where Carmelo Hayes got Braun Breaker set up in a single leg crab lock.
Yes.
Single leg crab leg lock.
I know where you're going at with. Oh,
yes,
man.
You know exactly where I'm going because at this point, Trick Williams he looked like he was going to try to interfere like earlier in the match by beating up Braun Breaker while he was on the outside of the ring. Trick Williams had taken his shirt off, so it's Trick Williams without his shirt, and
he started flexing.
He was flexing at Carmelo. Show him exactly how, Jose. He was flexing and flexing his just flexing the bicep for like, oh, wrench that leg, Carmelo, wrench that leg. Just wrench the leg. Come on, you can do it. And the whole time he's cheering Carmelo on, like, come on, you can do it, man. Just wrench that leg. And I was over here like, oh, we need a fucking screenshot of this.
I tried to find one, but I couldn't. It wasn't even on WWE.com.
What the hell? It's not that embarrassing. Come on, Hunter. It's not that bad.
Don't blame Hunter. Blame Heartbreak.
Come on, Sean. It ain't that bad. I know you've had some sunny days in the past, but put those behind you, man.
All right.
Oh!
That's a good one.
I went there.
That's a good one.
I went there.
Don't leave me hanging.
Oh.
There. All right. But now getting closer to the finish, Braun Breaker was able to mount up Carmelo Hayes for his military press power slam, but Carmelo, just like Stand and Deliver, Carmelo Hayes was able to counter it into a code breaker. And then he also countered Braun Breaker's first attempt at a spear, Breaker pulling a Goldberg and accidentally hitting the ring post shoulder first. But then as Carmelo Hayes hit a springboard move and tried to hit him with a diving attack, Braun Breaker was able to intercept Carmelo Hayes mid-air and hit him with a surprise spear.
It was actually quite badass. You were like wondering, like, hey, what? Like, it looks like he's trying to do a Goldberg move. Oh, hey, there it is. How about that? Vicente saying single leg Boston crabs do not work for a guy from Michigan. Ow. Yeah.
All right.
You're not wrong, but at the same time, fuck bastard. Sorry, that's my.
No, you're fine.
I've satisfied my New Yorkers rules.
Carmelo Hayes was able to kick out of the surprising spear, much to the fans' delight, much to his dismay, of course.
Much to Breaker's dismay.
Then Carmelo Hayes was able to finally put the dog down. Not malicious, not in real life, but actually
just keep going.
To put the Steiner down. Put the Steiner down. He hit him with a surprise DDT, spiking his head on the ground, and then finally went to the top rope and executed his finishing move, nothing but net, to pin and retain. The nerds watching all over the internet, your winner and still the NXT champion, Carmelo Hayes.
And the right guy actually won the match. Like I said, Carmelo Hayes is clearly picking this stuff up. He's much smoother in the ring. He's much more energized. He knows how to tell the story. He knows how to tell the situation that's happening in the ring well. Breaker, he clearly has a persona. He clearly has physicality. He clearly has plenty of good repertoire with the match. But he needs to remember how to sell, motherfucker. He needs to remember to sell an injury. He didn't sell at all that Carmelo was trying to work on his leg.
Unless he was told specifically not to,
You gotta make Braun Breaker look really, really strong, pal.
Yeah, because I mean, come on, heaven forbid we've seen John Cena or Roman Reigns show any sign of weakness.
We do.
I know. I'm being ridiculous. The point being, yes, Juan is right on all accounts, and this would very likely be the last time we see Braun Breaker on NXT, because it is reported that this is his final pay-per-view match, as he is now ready for a main roster call-up to either Raw or SmackDown. As for Carmelo Hayes, the reigning champion, just to get into a little bit of it, on this week's edition of NXT after the pay-per-view event, Carmelo Hayes celebrated retaining the title. He successfully defended it in an impromptu match against Noam Dar, and then he was attacked by the next opponent who will be taking him on. Hey Juan, get this: we went from Braun Breaker to Baron Corbin.
Nope. No, I'm shutting off the show.
No, don't do that!
I'm doing it, and you can't stop me. No, it's done. It's over. No,
put me back on.
No, no, because goddamn Baron Corbin ruins everything. He always has to ruin everything. That stupid, boring ass Baron.
I know. It's so
sweet,
dumb.
merciful God, this guy.
Yeah, Baron Corbin is back in NXT for who knows how long, because that's what they like to do. Very likely. I don't know if this means they're going to be repackaging Baron Corbin on NXT. I mean, if they're bringing him back to if they're bringing him back to the NXT brand, then this will be a good chance for him to find some sort of resurgence in his character, something to finally get it back on track. Because man, Baron Corbin has just not been doing well.
It's called He Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was King Corbin, Constable Corbin, Happy Corbin,
Sad Corbin,
Lucky Corbin, freaking all the
Corbins. He's just become a laughing stock. Not even a laughing stock, because Juan said he's boring. It's
almost X-Pac heat. It's go away heat. It's we don't care about you.
Yeah.
Why are you on our TV? You're dumb. Get away from us.
Exactly. It's the same retread of his shtick from Raw and SmackDown with no ounce of character progression.
Like, what's his character? What's his whole thing? What is his shtick? What is his spiel? He doesn't have one because he's lame.
Exactly.
And we've been trying to see what the hell could possibly be done for the guy, and to save my life, can't figure it out.
All right. Well, I think I'm done boring you for a couple of minutes, Juancho.
Let me see here. Vicente Guerrero, Carmelo Hayes was lucky Braun Breaker didn't go do a true Goldberg impression on the finish. Otherwise, he would have kicked out at 1 and then won in the next 10 seconds.
Oh God.
You're not wrong. Bunda, sad what happened to Corbin when he won King of the Ring. I was like, okay, they finally made another big star, and then they didn't. And then
they did it.
And
then he lost his crown.
He lost his crown. He was running around in a furry ass robe. He looked dumb. He acted dumber, and not even like a King Booker fun kind of dumb. No, in the really crappy ass dumb.
Yeah. And what did Vicente say about Corbin?
At least Baron Corbin has a height/image to look like he could give Carmelo a tough battle. Yeah.
Yeah, he could give him a fight, but that's it.
But that's literally it. Like, okay, but what are we doing personality-wise? I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't think I want to know.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about this year's AEW Double or Nothing. This year's AEW Double or Nothing took place over at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Sin City! Juan, I know you have a personal experience with Vegas.
Yeah, it was last year, and I didn't have nearly enough of a personal experience.
Well,
let's just put it this way. I need money.
Well, at least you dodged a major bullet and you didn't get yourself caught up in any sort of anarchy.
I see what you're trying to go for. I'll just show it off over here.
Here we go. The main event for AEW Double or Nothing. Anarchy in the arena. Because we can't do Stadium Stampede anymore. So...
Because, what's his face? God help AEW if they're able to fill an arena to capacity. Or rather, to fill a stadium to capacity enough in order to justify a Stadium Stampede.
Actually, I thought that Tony Khan's father put his foot down and say, "Okay, no more shenanigans at the Daly's place." Okay.
No, he's still allowed to use Daly's place if he wants. He just doesn't want to because then that won't make him cool anymore.
We have on the one side, on the left, we have the Elite, which is Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, against the Blackpool Combat Club with the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, the Death Rider, the Ring of Honor World Champion, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta.
Also, let me see here what's going on in the chat. Oh yeah, no, I saw this. I heard of this. Bunda was saying, did you hear that if you had bought a cheeseburger, you actually got a free ticket to Double or Nothing? That's true. That was not a troll. They couldn't give the tickets away for free.
Oh,
it's true. I heard the same story,
dude.
I was losing my shit. Like, oh my God, what the hell is wrong with these people?
Is AEW that desperate?
Apparently, they couldn't fill the arena in Vegas. D-Nice, you're absolutely right. Anarchy! 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 I don't know what that word is, but I love it.
So there was definitely a lot of moving parts during this match, and they actually showed a split screen because part of the action took place at ringside, like within the ring, the stage of Titantron, and the other half was backstage. Eventually, all eight participants were able to make it back at least up into the Titantron. There was a spot where Jon Moxley gave a pile driver to I believe it was Hangman Page or Kenny Omega, and it was onto a giant like poker chip prop that had barbed wire inside. Like,
wait, inside or wrapped around it?
Like wrapped around the poker chip. Yeah.
A barbed wire poker chip.
Yes. Yes.
And they wonder why they couldn't sell tickets.
Oh my God. There was just way too much stuff. Basically, it's kind of like the same. Well, no, actually, no. The No DQ match from Under Siege is still bloodier and still something I wouldn't watch again.
But this one's right up there with the bloodiness of.
This was just all over the place. It was just,
and it wasn't even good, fun anarchy. This was everything has to blood and everything has to be destroyed. And like this had Jon Moxley's grubby fingerprints all over it in terms of how brutal and hardcore it is. Not to mention the overbooking of this match that's clearly the product of Kenny Oblivious and the Young Fucks.
Yeah, no.
But what do I know?
It was a large mess, and here's the thing: when it comes to pro wrestling, one of the other fundamentals of pro wrestling, in order to spice up the program, spice up your content, is innovation. We always present. Wrestlers like to present things that has never been done before for the first time ever on screen. So, with that being said, now that I've sent the president, ladies and nerds watching all over the internet, I present to you an example of first-time things that shouldn't be tried again. Case in point, Matt Jackson has a gimmicked shoe and super kicked Jon Moxley in the face, and there was like a fireworks explosive that blasted Moxley.
What?
I'm going to say this again in case you didn't hear me. Matt Jackson, one half of the Young Bucks, rigged one of his sneakers with fireworks and super kicked Moxley in the face, and an explosion went off.
I have no fucking words.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
What's dumber still is that one would imagine that something this, well, explosive would have been part of the finish to the match. That it would have been the signal to start wrapping it up. That it would have been something that would have...
That should have been the end!
The exclamation mark that would seal the fate of this match once and for all. Nope.
Also, Moxley has bad luck with explosives. Like, the last time he took an explosion to the face was during the the exploding barbed wire death match of AEW Revolution 2021.
Oh, the failure that even got Angel laughing his dick off.
Everything in the match worked, but the finish sucked.
Who was the one that went in to save them?
Eddie Kingston went to save Moxley. Like, oh no, don't let the explosions hurt my friend.
Blah.
Blah. Yeah. But anyways, let's get back to this.
Let me take a look over here.
Go on.
Vicente was saying if Charlie Hunnam, a.k.a. Jax Teller, showed up during Anarchy in the Arena, the match would have lived up to its name. Ha, Sons of Anarchy, get it? John Moxley does seem like he would be a Sons of Anarchy character. He wishes. Moxley
What
wishes.
is your hatred with Moxley?
No, I'm freaking... I don't hate John Moxley. I hate that he's devolving himself into being like a deathmatch glory hound every single goddamn week. The motherfucker needs to actually keep bags of blood on him in order to get a transfusion after he's stapled shut, just so that he can drive home to Renee. Jesus Christ. The man is trying to bleed himself into an early grave. And apparently, and the whole joke that we were making of him being a vampire by, oh, I'm going to drink their blood, I'm going to wreck their face. Apparently, Nick Jackson at some point in the match got color, and Moxley was licking it off of him.
Okay, Moxley, come on, dude. Come on, man. Why you got to do that?
You want me to... would you like to continue trying to defend that? Would you like to continue asking me why the hell I'm disappointed and completely turned off by John Moxley now?
No,
or
but I
continue.
No, but there's something I do want to bring up that might bring a little bit of satisfaction to you. Matt Jackson paid the price for that exploding kick as the Blackpool Combat Club removed the shoe from the same foot that Matt Jackson used and planted his foot right onto the thumbtacks in the middle of the ring before shoving his entire mouth full of thumbtacks and Claudio hitting a very European uppercut to knock out Matt Jackson. You would think that would be the move to finish the match, right? Right?
It wasn't! Buddha was asking who got stabbed in the face with a fork. Probably Moxley stabbing someone because he's hungry for blood.
Either Moxley or Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson has also been stabbing people too.
Yeah, but he stabs them in the back.
Oh, that's...
Well,
there. Speaking of stabbing in the back,
Vicente was also saying fireworks in Matt Jackson's shoe. Funny, LOL, but bad FMW and XPW rep-off spot. Yeah, no, it's... I'm over here, fuck my life, shaking my head at this fucking thing. These guys are literally throwing their dicks around like, look at all the cool stuff we're doing. Moxley's drinking people's blood.
We got exploding super kicks.
And that was like it was exploding super kick, and then Matt Jackson super kicks someone else, and then he super kicks someone else afterwards. So 3 super kicks, but only the first one was an exploder. Guess how wild and insane the crowd went.
Actually, it's
Would
funny
you like to know how wild and insane the crowd went?
Actually, I was going to bring that up because I actually did look up videos, and I actually saw a review from Brian Zane, and he actually brought up a good point. Throughout the majority of the night, the Las Vegas crowd was dead.
As a doornail. Also, Lisa Boo made it into the chat. Hey, up there, Lisa Boo. Welcome.
Oh, Lisa Boo.
Help us. This match is so stupid.
But don't worry,
it's making me feel want to be ableist and use the R word against people who are mentally challenged, because only these jackasses behaving like they're mentally challenged could come up with something like this. It's making me want to be ableist. God damn it!
But don't worry, Juan. We finally do get to a finish because, speaking of backstabbing, there was a masked assailant that came into the ring and helped the Blackpool Combat Club by destroying Kenny Omega, and the masked assailant turned out to be none other than Juan. Show them Konosuke Takeshita, who was friends with the Elite, with Kenny Omega, and also
they were the Golden Lovers back in Japan Pro Wrestling. They were tag champions. They were an actual tag team of hey, we're best friends and we're gonna grab all the titles together.
But he was also friends with Bryan Danielson, which put him in the crossroads of who he should side with during the whole feud between the BCC and the Elite. Takeshita chose the villains, the bad guys, the BCC. He stabbed Kenny Omega in the back, much like Don Callis stabbed Kenny Omega in the back a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Don Fallis over here was trying to shove someone out of the way from Takeshita's attack. He wound up shoving him in the way instead.
That carny piece of shit!
I mean, he is a carny piece of shit.
The match ended...
It's Don Fallis.
He's
a jackass.
Yeah, the match ended with the Blackpool Combat Club getting the win with Wheeler Yuta, the younger guy in the middle in the group, pinning Kenny Omega. So your winners, the Blackpool Combat Club.
I'm at a loss for words. Yo, real quick, I'm double checking something else over here. If you said to me saying, look through YouTube, you can find the Moxley Punk conversation in anime about their matches. Mox said we're using all this deathmatch shit, while Punk said it's dumb for the 2-minute squash. Punk in the anime, I like your wife, but John, you're a fucking prick. Yep. Bunda saying, by the way, Jim Cornette calls Dean Ambrose Moxley the plumber. And Bunda also
we heard that.
A $5 super chat.
All right.
Thank you so much, Bunda. We appreciate that support. Just know you could have set that up and become an inner flocker, but beggars can't be choosers. He says the crowd was dead because most of them were not invested because they got free tickets because they bought a cheeseburger.
Oh!
Merciful Jesus! But it was also saying, and Lisa Boo, she's throwing up our
emojis. Yay!
Bunda's saying, I think AEW has hit their ceiling. They're not going to grow, not even with CM Pinkies, who got a mixed reaction when the coked out dweeb announced his return. Go cover Raw or SmackDown.
Speaking of Raw and SmackDown, we're actually about to talk about that main event right now. Because I think we're about done with all the silliness from AEW, right, Juan?
I'm so done.
Let's go ahead and get into it. La Piece de Resistance. The main event for this year's WWE Night of Champions. And it's a tag team match, player.
Holla, holla.
For the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. The defending champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, go up against Solo Sikoa and the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns.
All this coming to you live from the progressive city of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Blood money, blood money, blood money, blood money, blood money.
Okay, I'm done.
You can stop. God. Okay. If you were watching along, y'all saw us going off on this match as it was coming, and there was bits where I couldn't freaking what do you call it? Where I couldn't actually see the opening of the match, but Jose covered it well. If he said it was saying buy a cheeseburger to see the pay-per-view live, then not have the wrestler named Cheeseburger even in the building. Missed comedy spot.
Oh yeah, there is a wrestler from Ring of Honor named Cheeseburger.
Oh God, you're right.
I think it was a jobber.
And yeah, they're not even in. They weren't even at Double or Nothing.
Nope.
No.
No.
No. That's such a missed opportunity. You're not wrong there, Vicente. Good grief. I'm over here disappointed with what they did over at Double or Nothing.
Well, don't be disappointed because there's room to actually appreciate good wrestling.
Like
And
CM Punk when he comes back later this month.
Yeah, exactly. But let's talk about Night of Champions. So after Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa made their way down to the ring, without
Saudi Arabia,
without the Usos, mind you, because at the time.
Acknowledge me.
Because at the time they're at odds with each other. The bloodline is beginning to fragment, and everything is going to come into fruition later. And then out come the tag team champions, and Sami Zayn came down into the ring and check out what he's sporting. Like he's got a white robe on him.
He was wearing white robes, like formal Muslim white robes, I guess, in a way. And he was wearing them over his tights with the tag championships. And the really cool bit here was that the ring announcer, they announced Solo and Roman, and then they announced they were going to announce Kevin Owens, but Sammy grabbed the microphone and started speaking in Arabic, which roughly translated to like, "Oh, hold on a minute, folks. If we're in an Arab country with an Arab wrestler, let's go ahead and announce your champions in Arabic." And everyone was just going bananas.
Everyone loved it. The fans love Sami Zayn.
Like Sammy Mania has been running wild, and Jeddah, Saudi Arabia was no exception. Sammy introduced himself and Kevin in Arabic, and folks were just chanting along and were just cheering for both of them for the prize fighter and the ginger Muslim genetic luchador over here.
It was such a great match. It was so.
But just saying, like Sam Zendaya looks like the cleanest bum ever.
Oh come! Wow.
Okay, just because the guy's got a beard and a long hair, it doesn't make him a bum. All right, man. What's his face?
What a jerk.
Roman's got a beard and long hair. Ain't nobody calling him a bum.
I know.
Just because he's got a bushy beard. I mean, what's her face? How many other wrestlers have had bushy beards? Help me out here, Jose.
Giant bushy beards?
Okay, yeah. There's
Kevin Owens.
There's Kevin Owens, Braun Strowman. Let's see here.
Bray Wyatt.
He's got one.
Bryan Danielson.
Yep. Triple H, he had a beard.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Who else?
The Big Show. Paul White.
Yeah. Big Show had a bushy beard.
Mark Henry.
Yep. Help me out.
No. Kurt Angle had a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah. No. Kurt Angle had a 5 o'clock shadow, and he was on a Percocet diet. That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
why it wasn't bushy. It was just frightening. He did not look the same.
Yeah.
He didn't even look like Kurt Angle. You notice that?
I know. So bad.
So weird.
It's so weird.
He was in such a messed up place in his life there.
All right, but let's stop talking about facial hairs. Let's get to the main event match.
Yeah. Vicente was saying, Bunda, Roman Reigns looks like a champion. Yeah, but not a tag champion.
Oh!
Let me take a look here. My boyfriend has a beard, like a Viking beard, says D Nice. See?
Hey!
Like facial hair ain't all that bad. Give it a try sometime, Bunda. You'll see. They'll be. You might grow to like it. Who knows?
What did Vicente say?
Vicente says in the chat, surprising Sammy was even in the match considering he was having some Syrian in him, but very cool that the live crowd popped for him on the mic.
Absolutely.
And Jen Pearson made it in the chat. Holy cow, Jen!
Welcome,
thank you
Jen.
so much
And
for
yes,
Wrestle
it is
Rewind.
surprising because it was reported that a situation between Saudi Arabia and Syria has actually kind of mellowed out a little bit.
Yeah, they're on speaking terms now,
which is good. Because we need some fucking good news in this world.
Yes,
and
please.
Sami Zayn actually posted videos, not only not only did they show the videos on WWE.com, but also his personal vlog videos of his adventures in Saudi Arabia, especially when he visited the giant rock in
when he visited Mecca.
When he visited Mecca. That was actually really good. Now,
it was so sweet and it was so like heartwarming and shit, man. It's like, yo, that's my dog for real.
Indeed. That being said, speaking of wild things, the match started off with Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa in the ring. And Solo Sikoa, he has been all over the place. He is demolishing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens with of course the tribal chief not doing much of the work. Just just being in the ring apron, not taking his opponent seriously. The usual tribal chief shtick.
Yeah, he was in the apron. He was at the apron. He was working himself. He was working the crowd like, look at this, man. I don't even have to try. I don't even have to put in effort. I've got my cousin Solo doing all the heavy lifting here. I'm here to show everybody just how badass I am. You're not even worth the effort, people. Like that kind of like hamming it up to the crowd, clearly healing it up, maximum heal damage. D-Nice was saying it used to be a wizard long beard, but his work won't allow the length.
Understandable. But getting back into it, the babyfaces were able to mount a comeback. Roman Reigns did get some offense from KO and Sami Zayn. Roman Reigns was at the receiving end of a sit-out powerbomb from Kevin Owens, and then later in the match, Sami Zayn planted a Blue Thunder Bomb onto Solo Sikoa only to get a 2 count. Everything was going great back and forth between two teams. The action later on near the finish of the match, the action actually spilled at ringside with both KO and Sami Zayn laid out outside of the ring. And then they were flanked by the Usos. The same Usos who Roman Reigns currently has beef with because they're not champions anymore. Oh, they don't deserve to be mentioned to be mentioned in the same breath as me.
Oh no! How dare he? It's so bullshit. It's such bullshit because it's clear that what's his nuts. It's clear that it's an effort from Jimmy and Jey Uso to try to get back on
Roman's good graces.
Side. Yeah. Vicente, no shock, a guy named Solo was kicking ass for a while by himself. Yeah. And Jen Pearson saying that she's playing Uno with the granddaughter. Takes priority. She's off to bed, so it's y'all's turn.
No worries.
Jen,
That's
it's all right.
Fine.
Like this is a short episode.
Children comes first.
Yes, exactly.
All right, and then after they laid out Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the action spilled into the ring. It looked like the Usos were trying to go for a double super kick onto Sami Zayn, but unfortunately, the Usos are good at a lot of things. Math ain't one of them. They miscalculated and hit Solo Sikoa, with Roman Reigns seeing everything.
No, he only
caught them at that point, like. Oh no!
You didn't.
Oh my goodness! And Roman Reigns, who is at this point is just tired. He's also infuriated, flabbergasted at what he saw. Started going up to the faces of the Usos, just pie-facing them, verbally and physically abusing them. What a total bastard!
What a dick!
Exactly. Shouting at them, saying like, I'm the tribal chief. Day one is over. There is no day one. Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. And then the unthinkable has happened. Finally, one of the Usos decided enough was enough. Jimmy Uso turned on Roman Reigns and super kicked him in the head not once, but twice.
It was such a heel move. It was such a bullshit move. And none of us saw it coming. Everyone was freaking floored by it. It was such a wild ass move on Jimmy Uso's part.
And as for Jey Uso, shades of what happened in the Royal Rumble of 2023, he was just as flabbergasted and like shocked at to what happened, yelling at Jimmy Uso saying, "What are you doing?" To which Jimmy Uso told Jey Uso, I'm doing what you should have done a long time ago.
It was like, it was, I know, Bundes over here saying, oh, I predicted this. Like, no, it was like, oh my God, this is the breaking point, and this is exactly what Sami Zayn had been warning Roman Reigns over this whole time.
Yes!
He was trying to warn him for. And now we're seeing it happen.
Yes. Afterwards, Jimmy Uso left the ring, escorted his brother Jey out of the ring. Kevin Owens hit the stunner on Solo Sikoa to pin and retain. Your winners, and still the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
It was such a big match. Like, here's the freaking thing that I've got on it. Okay, number one, you had a ref bump that lasted ages. They murdered the referee.
They did.
That
murder
referee
them.
was dead. They had to get in another referee who just slid in at the end there. Like, couldn't they have slid somebody in sooner? Like, what's his nuts? Also, Vicente saying Roman has a really good death stare, almost as good as Edge's facial expression.
Yes.
When Roman's, I'm over here remembering before they went to Saudi Arabia, or before they did the Friday night of SmackDown on there. What's his face? It was Jimmy Uso, who actually went and said, "Oh, as far as the Usos are concerned, as far as the Day One's champions, I am the tribal chief." And it just
brought out Roman Reigns,
and that got him with the look of, "Oh, I heard you talking shit like you thought I wouldn't find out."
Yeah, he smacked the microphones off of the
I hear
Usos'
you talking
hands.
shit like you thought I wouldn't know. He was so pissed off. And what was his face? It was even with similar thing with when Jey Uso and Sami Zayn were arguing. Like,
to which Jay said, like, "I don't give a damn what the tribal chief said."
And Roman picks his head up. "Excuse me, I'm right here, bitch. What did you just say?" That the fact that Roman brought all this shit down on himself with him trying to tighten his grip and tighten his control over the bloodline, over Jimmy J and Solo is what did all this.
Yes.
But Does over here saying at least Roman didn't eat the pin.
But it doesn't matter. He lost the battle. KO and Sami Zayn are still the tag champions, and the bloodline is over.
All on Roman's 1,000th day as WWE champion.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Tomorrow night on SmackDown, Roman Reigns celebrates his 1,000th day as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. And with the Usos and all these bunch drafted to SmackDown, it'd be interesting to see where the story goes.
Suffice to say, Roman's going to be partying solo.
Oh!
With Sikoa.
All right, so final thoughts on the pay-per-views.
Don't I have to ring the bell to show the
Yes, you do. Ring that bell before we continue. All right, so WWE Night of Champions. I mean, obviously, there's not much to say on the pay-per-view. Me and Juan, we saw it on the watch party. You guys tuned in. It was definitely a great pay-per-view event. This is the second pay-per-view event from Saudi Arabia that WWE produced very, very well, considering their history with Saudi Arabia shows.
With the Saudi Arabia shows, the Saudi Arabia-ness was so heavy-handed initially. It was so ratchet. I'm like, that's just disgusting, guys.
Well, they did feature a little bit of the Saudi Arabia here on this programming, but for the right reasons. Like they showed Mustafa Ali and Sami Zayn visiting Mecca, which is good. And you got to admit
that's more them showing like, oh, hey, our WWE superstars who are Muslim, they're coming out and they're partaking in one of the most important and one of the most sacred things that a practicing Muslim can do, and that's if they're able to, they visit Mecca and they take their pilgrimage there.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley squashing Natalya was predictable, but I still love watching Dami Mommy at work, and Asuka winning the Raw.
Well, wait, there was a match with Natalya?
It came in left.
Well, it was a match?
Yeah.
I
don't think you should call it. I mean, it was more of an execution.
It wasn't a match. It was a beating.
It was a beating.
It was a drive-by
Asuka defeated Bianca Belair and is now the Raw Women's Champion. My only knock on that match is that should have happened at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but they were trying to wait for
whatever reason. I couldn't understand it. But overall, the pay-per-view was actually pretty good.
Also, Vicente saying, after 2 super kicks, I could see Reigns having to eat Roman noodle soup this night for dinner.
All right.
That hurt.
Now, this year's...
Shout out to all Muslims watching. If any, I've got family in Jordan, says D-Nice.
All right.
Awesome.
That's cool. That's great. That's awesome.
That's fantastic. Yeah, no. Salam alaikum to our Abrahamic siblings there.
Indeed. Now, this year's AEW Double or Nothing is a mixed bag because there's a lot of things that weren't firing on all cylinders. Apart from the main event, the Anarchy in the Arena match, the Four Pillars match was okay from what I've seen. The unsanctioned match.
Why do they call it a Four Pillars match?
Because AEW can't help themselves.
Tony, you dumb shit.
The unsanctioned match between Chris Jericho and Adam Cole had a weak finish, which a lot of fans did not like. Like, at all. And there was the Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm match. Like, it could have been better if it weren't for Jamie Hayter's injury. She did the best she could. And Jade Cargill, like, I'm cool with her finally being dethroned as TBS champion, as her run was getting super stale. But having to lose it in an impromptu match against Chris Statlander instead of a one-on-one match against Taya Valkyrie,
who's the badass?
Who's a badass? I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Chris Statlander. I'm glad she's healthy. I'm glad she's great. But really, an impromptu victory? I don't know.
I don't even know.
I don't even get it.
Jen Pearson, are you sure this wasn't the 4 pills match?
Oh, God.
I'm just, as cringy as the WWE's choices of terminology, of phrasing shit, like, to a local medical facility, or they're not wrestlers, they're superstars. And as cringy as that is, trying to have Tony Khan force a thing of like, these guys are the 4 pillars of AEW. One of them, Absolute Ricky Starks, that actually said in an interview recently, do you have any idea how insulting that term is? It basically says these 4 guys are the only ones that matter. Everyone else can fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not really the kind of message you want to send to your employees,
Exactly.
But no, what the hell do we know? We're just over here trying to, run a business. But Tony Khan isn't running a business. Tony Khan is showing off his.
He's not running a business. He's just running.
No, he's showing off his fancy toy collection of all the fancy action figures of wrestlers that he bought because he's such a special boy.
So he's running a toy stand.
Exactly. Look at everyone. Look at me play all these great toys. Look at how incredible we all are. We're playing all this the Forbidden Door.
All right. Let's go ahead.
Forbidden Door is another one that they fucking murdered.
Let's move on. So this year's NXT Battleground was awesome. None of the championships changed hands, which I'm okay with. I honestly thought that Gallus was going to beat the Creed brothers. I mean, it was predictable. And Wesley had a great triple threat match between Joe Gacy and Tyler Bate. I think you caught a little bit of it, Juan.
I only did catch a little bit of it. I did see the big strong boy.
Yeah, the big strong boy doing a big swing and an airplane spin.
And I was over here like, wait a minute, who the hell is that dude in wrestling tights? Is that Joe Gacy?
That is Joe Gacy.
But okay, so has that always been his ring gear?
Well, before they made him wrestle in a polo, yes.
And when they made him wrestle in a polo and being the evil woke cult leader.
Well, he's still the evil woke cult leader. He's just he has a little bit more freedom of what to wear. Let me put it that way.
So he can wear ring gear now.
The last man standing match between Ilya Dragunov and Dijak was also awesome, and it was great with Ilya Dragunov getting the win. And unfortunately, it came at a cost because Ilya Dragunov's entire arm was covered in bruises.
What? From doing what?
From fighting the last man standing match. Like, dude, they brought in weapons. They brought in tables, chairs. They used steel steps. No, not ladders. But there was a cool coast-to-coast Van Terminator spot.
Also, real quick, let me take a look over here. Vicente was saying, yes, Taya should not have lost 2 in a row to Jade Cargill after all this build-up. When the Young Bucks are called pillars/huge players, it's sad, really. Yeah, it really is. Bunda's over here saying,
this Saturday I will have new Angle and
Pile updates.
And Pile.
You with your weird-ass fixations, Buddha.
I know, it's so weird. But that being said, Battleground was great. The main event was awesome. The rematch was just as good.
Lisa was calling it a con show.
I know, right?
God.
The rematch between Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker was just as good as their first encounter, if not a little bit better. Overall was great. And also, congratulations to Tiffany Stratton. She won the NXT Women's title.
Yeah, I was over here looking at the bits for that match, and Tiffany Stratton, she's got athleticism. She can carry the NXT Women's Championship. She's got what it takes. I was worried that she might have been a little too green. It might have been a little too early. Since she did have that feud with Nikita Lyons, and Nikita Lyons is on the mend, I'm over here wondering how long it'll take until we see these two clash in the ring once again. So that's something to look forward to.
That is something to look forward to. I know, Juancho. I miss Lakita Lyons too.
I miss Nikita Lyons in the worst way.
Now, this year's Impact Wrestling's Under Siege pay-per-view was pretty good. Once again, Trinity had a great match against the quintessential diva Giselle Shaw.
I think I saw a bit in that match where Giselle, she lost her shit when Trinity was attacking
You skipped
her.
past it.
I skipped past the match?
No, you skipped past the
don't worry about this. Don't worry about this.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're right. She did lose her shit. Trinity won by submission. Trinity won by submission, which was awesome. What's his face? The X Division Championship match between Trey Miguel and Chris Sabin was great. There was a controversial finish to it where saw Trey Miguel sneaking a victory to retain the title. So good for him, as expected. Joe Hendry successfully defended the Digital Media Championship against Dirty Dango, which is predictable because
like the weird ass build it with Dirty Dango trying to go, oh, I'm gonna be a heel by cutting shoot style promos on everyone.
It didn't make me care.
Yeah, like come on, really, Dango? Like I see what you're trying for, but no, that's not it.
Yeah, I know.
But it was over here. He's piecing out. He's saying like, all right, people, my phone's at 6%. I'll see you on Saturday.
We'll see you Saturday, man.
See you Saturday, Bunda.
And the main event was bloody as all hell. I think we've talked enough.
Somebody had you know those little super cheap fruit punch barrels of juice with the little foil lids?
Yeah.
You know those?
Yeah.
Now imagine that. Imagine a whole case of nothing but the red, like cherry or fruit punch ones, and have that just slashed open with a hail of gunfire from a Kalashnikov AK-47, just all over.
I will say this again.
Even that's not enough to illustrate the bloodiness of that match.
I will say this again. As insane as the Anarchy in the Arena match was in AEW Double or Nothing, this match at Under Siege was worse.
And we're not saying that it was a bad match. We're saying that it's way bloodier than it had any
Too much
reason to be.
overexposure of blood.
Whereas AEW has more blood happening frequently per capita per week thanks to Moxley. He's keeping their blood count high and his own red blood cell count super low. All in the name of the sport, pal, because that's what my friend Engage would do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna drink their blood. I'm gonna wreck their face. I'm gonna make them eat shit. They're
Watch
gonna
out.
step on.
I think you just answered your own question about why Moxley does what he
wants
does.
to be Nick Gage.
Well, I was gonna say
He wants
because
to be his bacon addicted drug
because
robber.
Moxley, deathmatch wrestling seems to be his passion.
He can be passionate about a lot of things. Doesn't mean you should do them all.
He's always been a hardcore brawler anyway.
But that doesn't mean he should only ever do hardcore brawling. Shit, even the Sandman learned to put in a headlock.
That is true.
Good grief, Moxley. Chill your
man.
shit.
And speaking of ECW, man, I am just tired of Bully Ray being on my screen. I just don't want to see him again.
It's not that he's bad. It's not that he's a bad wrestler. It's been done.
Yeah.
Bully Ray, you're okay. You have nothing further to prove.
Actually, you know what? Completely off subject, but sort of related. You know who else needs to go away, like who has nothing to prove?
Who?
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah. No.
I think, I'm going to brief...
Jeff Hardy in that one match of the
Hardy Boys and Hook versus the team of Big Bill, Lee Moriarty, and whoever. Oh, no. It was a team of Ethan Page and the Gun Club. It was one of their kickoff matches, I guess, for Double or Nothing, where there was a botch. It's gone viral, where Jeff Hardy tried to go for a twist of fate. When he went for the spin, he twisted his leg and he was limping. And then he tried to go for his top rope, like Wisp of the Wind, like spinning.
Will of the Wisp
spinning move. And he ended up tumbling on the top rope. And I'm just like, yeah.
Jeff, you're done.
I think he's done.
Jeff, you are done. We're saying this because we care. We say this stuff because we've been fans of yours and we have nothing but love for Jeff Hardy. Please stop.
Stop wrestling.
Not because we don't like you, but because we like you enough to ask you to please stop for your own sake.
Yeah.
We're asking very, very nicely because you owe nothing to this industry. You have given more than enough. You have proven your worth. Go seek help. Go get a life, Jeff. What the shit? Vicente Guerrero in the chat was saying Steve Macklin bloody like fucking hell is even an understatement. Maybe Deonna Purrazzo likes her when her guy bleeds though, so not only bad for Steve.
I don't want to know about Deanna's kinks, but okay.
Yeah, me neither. Mox actually wrestled in his tag matches with FTR and CM Punk last year. I know. Who would have thought Moxley actually wrestled in a wrestling match instead of I'm gonna bleed all over you.
Yeah, you see, Juancho, he's not always about hardcore brawling.
Just whenever he gets the reign in order to do it on his own.
Yeah, you're right.
No, like I'm trying to get back to Jeff. I mean it.
No, Jeff does need to stop. At this point,
when Jeff Hardy was had first showed up in AEW, and what was the first thing they had him doing?
They had him doing crazy stunt after crazy stunt after crazy stunt. AEW was trying to milk out all the crazy stunts in Jeff Hardy's mileage, or whatever mileage he has left.
And it took Jeff Hardy
to get arrested by his own doing.
To get him out of the ring and get him to try to clean up. Like, no, I'm sorry. He's been given too many second chances. I love Jeff Hardy to death. He has to stop. It's over.
Well, apparently he's already finished rehab and he's medically cleared.
That doesn't. I don't believe it. I don't care. He's done.
No, I agree with you. He is done. I can't say, like, for Matt Hardy is a different case because at least Matt Hardy knows better and he's actually playing it safe.
Jeff should have seen when they had the Stadium Stampede match and Matt Hardy fell off of the scissor lift and cussed straight on the concrete.
Oh, no, that
floor.
was the Broken Rules
match.
That
Still,
was the Broken Rules.
Same diff.
Yeah.
Point is, Matt could have actually legitimately died there, and Jeff Hardy is acting like he wants to die in the ring. He has to fucking stop.
He does.
Yeah, Vicente was over here saying, always have marked for the Hardys, but it seems like Jeff has two choices in his life. Wrestler, get high.
No! No, he doesn't. He doesn't have to do either.
You know what? No, you know what? Go get high. Go in the Hardy compound barn. Go get high in there and go make some art with oil paints, no ventilation, and light up a ganja there. Let's see how that turns out. No,
Juan, come on, don't say that.
It'll be just like Randy Orton at the Wyatt compound. That's not the point. The important point is Jeff has to fucking stop. He looks like he's acting like he wants to die in the ring.
And based on how he moved in his return match at Double or Nothing, like, it's showing. It's showing really bad. He's just not the same.
I'm sorry. He's got to stop.
He needs to stop. But that's good.
You want to know what's also depressing?
What is?
The fact that we're not talking about the AEW World Champion MJF retaining his title.
Oh, yeah, he retained.
The fact that match wasn't the main event of Double or Nothing.
You know, it's kind of funny you mentioned that because in the post-pay-per-view press conference, MJF actually addressed that. When someone asked him, hey, are you disappointed that your match wasn't the main event? He's like, well, please. As if I wanted to share any of my blood with Moxley's blood.
Jose, what his actual words were, like, why would I want to go last? Why would I want to go on in the ring and roll around in John Moxley's blood?
Yeah. He also commented.
Why the fuck would I want to do that?
He also commented saying like that the idea of the World Championship match being the main event is so passé.
Come on, man.
Like, I get it. MJF's trying to like answer back and trying to give us an answer, like, while staying character, but still.
But still, the point is, the fact that we got this cool stuff from MJF, but it's not the big thing that everyone has to talk about is how cool the Elite are. It's how Jeff Hardy is stumbling on himself. Macklin wearing a crimson mask that looks like you need paint thinner to wipe off. Like, Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker had a match.
They had a great match.
They had a storytelling match.
Yeah.
A professional wrestling match.
The only black eye that we would ever bring up about the WWE during the wrestling weekend is the fact that they had the fact that they still have a deal with the Saudi Arabian government. But that's just it.
You got to be kidding. Yeah, no, that's literally
the only black eye that WWE has at the moment that we could address. If we're comparing pay-per-views, if we're comparing the shortcomings of the pay-per-views of Double or Nothing and Under Siege.
Yeah, and those are literally been there. Lisa was saying the sad thing is that he has to want to stop. Yeah, Jeff is going to have to want to stop, and that's not happening anytime soon.
Indeed.
Have you ever been in front row at those cage matches?
Oh no, I wish I was in front row.
We're too broke to afford front row seats to professional
We've been
wrestling.
in third row seats for WWE shows. The closest I've been to front row was during an NXT house show in 2019, but that's just it. All right. So I guess that's going to do it for now, and we thank everybody tuning in right now. You guys have been great. Thank you for tuning into an awesome main event Thursday. Next week, we're going to get back to our regular format, and we're going to do a little bit of a catch-up to what we missed from NXT, AEW Dynamite, and Impact Wrestling. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Wancho, go ahead and plug us away.
Don't mind if I do here, Jose. Folks, thank you very much for... Whoops. Sorry about that. I have to... Stop it over here. There we go. That should work. Once more with feeling. What happened to it? What's happening to it?
Juan, are you okay, man?
No, something's wrong with the thing. There we go. Yeah, it's better. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, folks, thank you very much for watching this week's live stream edition of Wrestle Rewind, hosted by Jose Buddha, as he reviews for you the best of the worst of three of the most exciting professional wrestling programs in North America today: WWE's NXT, All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite, and Impact Wrestling. Step into the ring every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch. Hit the subscribe and the follow button. Ring the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our content. Become an inner flocker by hitting the join button, and until next time, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Twitch.tv/TheRavensFlockOnline, and of course, remember to hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell right here on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, humble home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and The Ravens Flock.
All right, folks, thank you very much for tuning in to another exciting live edition of Wrestle Rewind. I'm your host, Jose Casabona. That was Juan Arouse, and this is wrestling.